Hello, everyone,
Welcome back to another channel.
and we will do another topic. And the topic says, how does being unable to work affect one's independence?
Okay, I guess I will start on this topic. So, obviously, being unable to work, I feel like just being, well, it depends because if you've been out of work for maybe a few weeks or a few months, it might not affect you as much, depending. Because some people live paycheck to paycheck. So, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it will definitely affect you. If you have some type of savings, then it might not affect you as much. But if it's a longer period of time, then yeah, it will start to affect you because obviously you need income coming in. So obviously to take care of your regular responsibilities, so you will definitely need income. But I think that being unable to work, I think it makes people feel like less than sometimes, especially if you have a disability. Because, I mean, I can't speak for every person, but for some people, not being able to go out there and work for themselves, especially if they have people around them calling them less than or names that are not very nice, because of whatever the situation is. There's some people though that just don't like working. They're quite lazy and they just like to. That's a total different situation. But if you really want to work and you are unable to, I feel like it definitely makes people feel, less than downtrodden, and it definitely will affect your independence because then you can't, have the income to buy what you want, to live comfortably, to even take care of um, your day to day thing. What's the word I'm looking for? Your day to day
Routine.
not routine, but what your responsibilities are on a day to day, like food, shelter, like paying rent or something, or mortgage, or your car insurance or whatever, or if you have to catch your bus fare, or it's just the day to day things that you need, and yep. For
Want me?
me,
Oh,
yep.
okay. What was the question? Oh, how is take away independence free? Because Shanita was on a roll.
For 2 minutes.
But yeah, for me personally, it does. I believe it does take your independence, cause like somebody like me, I love to work, and I love to work because I love money. So I'm not even gonna lie. I love money. I love to see the money in my hand and they just whoosh. Right, but on a serious note, I find even when I first came up here and it wasn't working, I feel like it took a little toll on me. Mentally, because it's like you ain't really being able to work at the time because you're going to school, and then when a job finally came up for me after 4 months, I felt even better about myself and stuff like that. I find for me working is a form of motivation because you are now able to do for your family, do for your household, and it shows that you have responsibility. And we were working when we were like I was 15, my sister was 19 when we opened up our little um, coconut business. Even working with my father as well as a young girl too, going to school and stuff. And we learn about working. So working is actually in our blood. We ain't wanting people that could stand home for years and be comfortable. I can't get that done. Um, but in terms of independence, no. I find especially when it comes to women um, being in a relationship, it can take away your independence. You now are solely dependent on your boyfriend or husband, and sometimes that might be a disadvantage to you because it's like you might hear, oh, you can't get this, or oh, you can't get that because this costs this sort of money and whatever. And for me, I always told myself from young, there's no way that nobody's gonna be telling me, oh, you can't buy this, oh, you can't get this, because I'm gonna be working for my own money, right? So I feel like independence is very important, especially as it comes to relationships, as it comes to living with other people, because you need to pull your weight too. So that's me. I did 3 minutes.
Yeah, but as Tony said, like for me, I think personally too, like if you like to work, because there's some people who really like to work, don't let no man come to you if you're in a relationship and encourage you to not work.
Correct.
Some men come and tell you, oh, take care of you. And if that's what you want, like if your goal is to be with a man that's wealthy enough to take care of you and you don't really want to work, you want to be a housewife or something, then that's on you, that's fine. Whatever, everybody's different, everybody like different things. But I'm talking about the people that actually really like to work. Don't let somebody come and discourage you because they're in a relationship with you and tell you, oh, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about working. You don't gotta work, whatever. Because what happens is that you start to feel a level of resentment, and especially if that person's income is not necessarily taking care of everything you want to get, right? Like there are times when they might be doing surface level of taking care of, meaning like the regular things are being paid for, but then you might want extra money for different things, and so that extra income could actually help out with other bills. It could also maybe become vacation money. It could become, your hair and nails money, or it could be an extra vehicle money, whatever it is. And so, if you really enjoy working, then work. Don't allow another person to come and tell you not to, because that causes a lot of strife in relationships. In the beginning stages, it sounds good and everything, but after watching like divorce court and stuff and seeing it a lot, I'm like, it always ends up becoming an issue, in my opinion. So I think the majority of people love being independent, or want to be independent, want to be able to say, I buy my own shoes, I buy my own. Whenever you go to a fact, you hear the man call out like, who does own the own hair? Who own the own fingernail? Whatever, like who own the own, whatever.
Or who pays
And
for the
yeah, who have the own house, who have the own car, and everybody is. Well, I feel proud to be able to raise the hand and say me. And I know some people that are raising the hand probably ain't doing. Probably it's like they're probably doing just raising the hand just for raising the hand, but but you do, like most people want to have that type of independence where you can say I have my own money to do whatever it is I want to do. And that's good because then, like Tony said, you don't have to rely on anybody to give you money. You don't have to borrow money from people, which really nothing is wrong with borrowing, right. But it's very important to pay back.
Correct.
Very important. If somebody borrow from me and they don't pay me back, no problem. But you don't get in another one. You don't get in nothing else from me because you gotta pay me back. You understand? That's important. But you wouldn't have to necessarily borrow from people. You wouldn't have to, expect, things. You'll be able to support yourself. You'll be able to grab whatever you want. You'll be able to book your own vacations and do whatever you want to do. What is this thing here? I hear somebody.
Clock it.
Okay, you're getting old. I see everybody doing this thing nowadays. It's like,
she's into this too.
Yeah, no,
you're doing as a little senior citizen
apparently
now.
So. I see everybody doing that. I know it was lately. Okay. Yeah, so back to the topic.
But yeah, especially you use more do things for yourself. Like for me, as I would have said in previous videos, I like to buy perfumes. You can imagine me not working and having a spouse that telling me, "Oh man, you got enough perfumes." No, I working. I always tell whoever I talk to in my life, I tell the straight. I went to college. I work hard. I have my degree. I working with my degree, and I will get what I want because I work hard. So anybody to telling me, "Oh, you can't get this, you can't get that." No way. Even my sister tell me, when you buy or using. So I getting it.
Right, but there's another point I wanted to make too, is don't ever let nobody make you feel down.
Correct.
Or less than. And when I say nobody, I mean like a partner. Don't ever let a partner either make you feel less than because you're making more money than them. Because that's another thing too. Sometimes you are in a occupation that um that you make more money than your partner. I'm personally speaking, like for me personally, if my partner makes, I mean I'm the woman, so that's more, society sees it more that men make more money. But if my partner makes more money than me, like I'll be fine with it, and I'm pretty sure if I make more money than my partner, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine with it. Like you have to have that level of respect for each other, and you have to have um like what's it, like a level of, I don't know if this is the right word, but satisfaction within each other. I don't know if that's the right term, but you have to know that you have each other's back. Right. Even if one person is making more than the other person. And again, this is where budgeting comes in. This is where talking about finances, discussing finances comes in, because you might have bills to pay, and I don't know if it might be a case where the person that's making more might take more of the share of the bills, or because you got some people that does make more, but then they expect that you pay everything with your paycheck for the entire household, and then they keep their money for themselves, and that can't work either. If both people are working, the way you divide it and share it is up to you. How you choose to divide it and share it in your household is up to you. But it can never be fair that both people are working, and one's paycheck is supposed to divide between everything in the household, and the other person paycheck for themselves. That can never work. Right. And that's on both male and female. That can never work. Right? But the way you decide to share your finances is within your own household. And then also what was I gonna say? Right, and then it shouldn't be a problem if you're making more, or he's making more, whoever is making more, you know? But yeah.
I believe that finances is something very, I don't know how we get on this, but I believe finances is very important as it relates to any form of relationship, whether it is siblings, whether it is boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. Because you need to know, as Shinta would have said, if you might be working, the woman working for more money than her partner, her husband, you know, like just get a grip and get stuff done. You know, I believe in equality and equity. The same way I would have expected my husband to take up more of the bills, let's say for instance, if he was working for more than me, then I will have to do the same thing if I'm working for more than him. At the end of the day, not all of us will get husbands who making six figures. We might get a husband that making only 5 or 4. And the reality is you can't also you can't like belittle him because of that. The point is he's working. The point is you're working. So those are things that when you're in a relationship, you have to make sure y'all get that started out, because that's one of the main situations that breaks a family unit. It is communication and it is finances. So yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me being a counselor.
if your partner is making less than you, but they're a good person, I don't see the problem. That's something else too. Everybody want to have, well, when I say everybody, that's just like in inverted commas, but there's this big thing about having a person that's making a certain amount of money, like 6 figures or 5 figures or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, if your partner is doing, let's say he's doing a trade, or he's doing something that's bringing in something into the home.
Exactly.
Like, don't feel pressure to be with somebody else that's making more. Like, at the end of the day, everybody's different. Everybody have different career goals. Everybody have different things they're interested in. If your interest is in being a nurse, and your partner's interest is in being a mechanic, then support him in being a mechanic. If his interest is in being a garbage collector, support him in being a garbage collector. At the end of the day, money is coming into the home, and the whole thing is to be able then to divide the money so that all the bills are being paid, everything is being taken care of, right? And then at the end of the day, there's a happiness there's a contentment, satisfaction, whatever within the home. Because nothing says you have to marry a doctor, lawyer, bank manager, or financial advisor. Nothing says you have to marry you. Nothing is wrong with marrying those type of people, but nothing is also wrong with marrying a janitor or being with somebody that's whatever, a carpenter, whatever. Like nothing is wrong with that. But at the end of the day, back to the independence topic. Um, of course, what's the question? Okay, I think we've really strayed from the question.
That's the question there. Mm-hmm.
Right.
How does work?
Right, but of course, everybody would want to be independent. At least I would hope everybody would want to be independent. Right. So I think talking about finances too was within the question too, because whenever you're talking about work, being unable to work or whatever, like finances is gonna go into it and stuff.
We just trying to justify that our going astray was was on the topic. But honestly, I'm glad that we kind of straight because those are issues that you face
in relationships. Those always come up in relationships.
Yeah.
And it's important. And I think, like I said, it's a very important thing to not let a person tell you not to work, because again, that's going to affect your independence. When you want something, let me say you want to go somewhere, or you want to get your hair done, your nails done, whatever, and you have somebody saying, "Oh, well, you got them done last week."
Yeah.
Or this wig costs too much money. You just buy these wigs all the time. Are you wasting money? I'm not saying that you should waste money either, because you see, there's always a balance in everything.
Right.
But you don't want people to tell you that you can't get what you want. That's a problem. As an adult, that's a problem. So yeah, that's basically our 2 cents. We could probably go on about the topic.
I just want to say one more thing too. I remember I was back home in Barbados, and I heard a little young girl. She got to be about no more than 2021, and she gonna trip on through. Oh man, I gotta get any man to give me money for my hair. And I just like, lady, work for your own money so you can get your own hair. You don't gotta worry about if a man give you money for the hair. You should be worried about that. He should just give it to you. And so this for your hair, not you waiting on him. Because at the end of the day, where is your independence? What is it that you have to wait on him? What you doing? Get up and go and get your hair done with your own money. Right? So you have to. Independence that's why the country we're from is independent and recent republic, because we want to be for ourselves and to ourselves. Won't he do it? Anyways.
Yeah, but I find, notice you say young girl.
Yeah.
And notice that a lot of people too tend to go that road of depending on guys for things. And like we said already, I think it's better to be independent, working, getting your own stuff, so you don't have to be dependent on anybody, because sometimes when you're dependent on people too, abuse comes into play.
Correct.
They feel like they can abuse you, mistreat you.
Correct.
Whatever. But I find a lot of especially young girls, tend to like try to get stuff from guys, because that's their way of survival too. And that's why I say you have to look at all aspects of it, because everybody didn't grow up with a silver spoon or a gold spoon in the mouth. Everybody didn't have the opportunities we had. And so some people definitely try to do what they have to do, like to survive, and that unfortunately is them depending on guys to get them somebody. Yeah. Some might have one man for this bill, and the next man for the next bill, and the next man for the next bill, and that's their way of survival. So, but honestly, if we are going to encourage anything, we will encourage you to be independent and work for what you want. Easier said than done in some cases, but at the end of the day, it would be worth it, because you don't have nobody running circles around you.
Correct.
You ain't got nobody telling you, oh, whatever. Like you are it, because you got what coming for you. What is yours is yours. Nobody can tell you what to do. So basically, that's what it is. And thank you for watching.
Please like,
video,
share,
and subscribe.
Until next time. Bye.